Hey everyone, your friend Jim here. I read a great or watched a great YouTube that Simon Sinek did where he talks about a concept called Spotlight Rangers. These are the guys that, if we go back to Ranger School, had all the skills to get through. They were solid. And when it was their turn to be on the button, if you will, on a graded patrol, they shined in front of the ranger instructors. But when it was their time to turn the leadership helm over to someone else to be graded, they faded into the background, and they were the guys that stole food, slept in the patrol base instead of helping their buddies, never carried the heavy equipment. Well, we had this thing called peer reports where you could give them a bad rating. So it was a way, if you weren't authentic, if you were a spotlight ranger, you're going to be found and thrown out. And it's one of the concepts that we have in engagement, momentum, and keeping that flywheel turning, right? If you want your folks to be seen, you want to grow them, you want to involve them in meaningful, real, impactful work, and teach them to lead, authenticity is key, right? So in our 60 card stack that we put together for you, I just pulled out a couple of the authenticity cards that are in there. This one is basically called a power stroke. You can't even get going with engagement if in the truth progression, your people think you're full of beans. If you're saying one thing and doing another thing, this one talks all about the say-do gap, right? Someone who tells their team members you can't take business class flights unless you're going over 10 hours, and they're headed 2 hours north on business class because it's their ego. They have the position that allows them to. Technically, that's true, but they're not modeling the behavior and doing what they expect their team to do. The other card that's in there on authenticity, huge anchor on that picture right there, right? Kind of cool. Talks about how you really have to anchor in authenticity. This one's a little bit different. It talks about that concept of growing people. For years, I watch people when things get tight, what do they cut? The training budget. What a mistake. If we're authentically telling people we care about you, we want to train you for the current job and teach you future skills, you can't cut the training budget. Figure it out. Or there's other ways to do it. You can develop folks, give them opportunities with experiential learning that doesn't include spending a lot of money, but this gives you kind of the chat on what people say that stall and then how people get things accelerating. So check out the 60 card deck. Don't be a spotlight ranger if you have any intention on being a successful servant leader. Thanks for being out there and leading the team. Help see them, grow them, involve them in the work, and teach them to lead.